and on keyboard and mouse. So yeah, today I'm gonna be talking about this one time I was at my friend's house and his dad like got us. And this doesn't make sense now when I say he got us, but it'll make a lot more sense. So, I'm my old mouse back, by the way, but so one day, me and Aiden, obviously, bro, we have the best stories ever. Me and Aiden are just chilling at his house, right? Like we used to, we just chill at his house. This big zip line that's like 15 feet high. So if you fell, you're dead. I think it's like 20 to 15 feet high. So yeah, basically, I go in his house one day, and we were just chilling outside, and then, like, not in, like, a super long time later, though we played some GTA and stuff, he comes up with this genius idea. We should go into his dad's office or his shed outside. Now, I didn't know what was in his dad's shed, but like when we got in there, it was kind of lit, to be honest. It was like a workout set, and yeah, it was like a workout set, right? And then there's a big office, bunch of papers, some cigarette smoke, and yeah. So then this is so stupid. So he leaves the door wide open, and I don't know this at the time, but apparently he's not allowed to go into his dad's office, right? So this was like when we were 9, so we were low-key stupid. So we go into his dad's office, and then we trying to work out on the workout set. Then we messed around and everything. We were just doing stupid stuff, like messing with all his papers, throwing them around. Okay, so and then there was a spray bottle in there. There was a spray bottle, like a spray paint bottle, and he drew some funny, like he just wrote, like sprayed all over the paper and stuff, and he like ripped some papers up, and he like broke like a box or something. So then we didn't know his dad was coming home, right? So this was one of the scariest times I've ever been in, but obviously we didn't know his dad was home or coming home, so we just chilled in there, and we ended up shutting the door and locking it, but then we opened it back up to get out, and then we went back in to do something, so we started pumping more iron and stuff, and he kept messing with other things. So then we should go on the zip line. Like, we should go on your trampoline, go on the zip line and stuff. We should play this cool game, like a tag game, where you have to try and catch me, because like every zip line, there's only one, or if it's like not like a hardcore zip line, obviously. It's not like one of those zip lines that you'll find at like a trampoline park, or not a trampoline park, a zip line park. God, like a zip line park. You'll find it like there, but it's like a solo one where like you have to ride down, and it's going like pretty much downhill the entire way down. So, and like under it like it's when I say it goes down, like it goes pretty, like not like in a straight slope down, but it goes down. So it was kind of like scary if you like didn't perfect it. And then, okay, so it was a straight tree, so you're building up this mad momentum, and then you just are about to hit a tree, or a platform. It was basically like a tree house, but without the house. There was just this platform there that you had to land on, but you had to like slow down it. You had to slow down like, because there was like 2 stoppers on it that you had to grip and slow down while you went down. So we played this game, and one time I hit the tree and almost broke my neck. But we were just playing a game where like you have to catch me if you can, but there's this long string. Okay, so we made a rule that if you grab the long string, you can't get a running head start or something. There's a long string at the bottom to help pull it back up, because you can't ride it back up because that's uphill. So he made a super long string that's like 5 feet off the ground from like connected to the zip line. It's like dangling from the zip line seat, and it's like one of those seats in like a swing set, like one of those one loop seats, and then you just had there was no strap-ons. That sounded weird, but there was no strap-ons other than that. Like there was no buckles. Like it was just this one seat that was like from a swing set. So I was scared, but like, you know what, boys, full send, you already know. So then I jumped off that thing, and he had to run down. So this was like 15 feet up of stairs, right? Or like we had to climb a 15-foot like staircase. So this was also really scary that he was up there with me, and there's this like little shed right next to us, like on the zip line, that's like 5 feet down, but we're like 20 feet suspended in the air, and this shed's like 10 feet down, and then not 5 but 10 feet down, and then below this shed is a freaking, it's like nothing, like it's just land, like obviously it's just this backyard, like you don't land on anything. So instead of going down the ladder, which takes a long time in his eyes, he's on top of the thing with me, and I'm like, but you can't catch me. He's like, what'd you say? I take off. I'm like, you're not gonna catch me. So instead of trying to like grab me from the zip line that I just took off in, he can't jump on another zip line because it has to go back and forth. So he tries to grab the long string, but the only way he grabs the long string is if he goes down there. So the dude, he jumped onto the shed that was like 10 feet below him, and then he jumps on the ground. So he just went down 20 feet with nothing in a matter of like 2 seconds. So I was like so scared, because this zip line hasn't really caught a ton of speed yet, because this zip line's like almost a whole football field long. Like that's how far these trees are. But I was really high up, so then I pulled the string up, so then he jumped to grab it, and he missed it by like a centimeter. So I was so thankful for that, and I made it over there, and I pulled the string all the way back up, and I was like, let's go, I made it, you suck. So then he's like, let me get a shot. So it's a platform down there for you to land, but it's not a platform for you to like get on this, like the thing again. Like you have to go down, and then you have to get off that way. So this is like a little broken down ladder. So this tree is like 5 feet lower than the other tree, because it's a downhill. So then I was like, okay, good, like you didn't catch me, you suck. So then he got mad, so then I jumped down, grabbed the swing, and took off, and then I climbed back up the stairs or whatever, or the ladder, back up onto this zip line again, and this time he's mad. Like he's not trying to trying to joke around, grab the swing like for the win. He just tries to kill me. Like when I go, he grabs my arm, and then I like shake him off by like hitting his hand, and I'm like, bye. So this time he tries to grab the rope again, and I just lifted it up. I was like, let's go, you suck. So then he's like, okay, screw that. So then he just runs all the way down, and then he's just waiting for me. Like he runs all the way down. So this is not like a whole football field. This is more like 50 yards in total, because he has a ton of land. He probably could have made it farther, but yeah. he just goes and he climbs the ladder and he's just waiting for me. So I was like, if you don't get down the ladder, I'm gonna not put the brakes on and I'm about to plow you through this tree with my 2 little feet. So then he of course, him not wanting that to happen, he jumps down. So then we left the office door open. Don't forget about the office that we went in, Dad's office. So we went back in there after all of that funny commotion stuff, and then he did another spray paint. There's a gold, red, and there was like a gray, and he did a gold all over the guy's papers. So then that sucked, right? Cause then we hear a honk, like a neat neat, and then his dad comes out going like, Aiden, what the f-? Like he actually said it, like so loud too. Like I was never more scared. That's how loud it was. So then Aiden being stupid, not trying to take it, be like, my friend's here, sorry, he didn't know, it's not his fault. He just tells me to hide. That's right. He tells me to hide under his desk, and he hides in the trash can. So when he breaks into the office, cause we locked it, Hayden ended up locking it, and he breaks back into his office. He's like, Aiden, what the? I'm gonna kill. He didn't say I was gonna kill you, but it was like he was that infuriated. He was so mad. He was probably gonna try and kill Aiden. So I was scared for my life. I swear I peed myself just a little bit, and. Of course, Aiden puts me in the most vulnerable position and puts me under the desk closest to the door. So like if you walk in, you just look down a little bit and you'll see me. That's where he puts me, and he hides behind the counter in the desk. But he knows that Aiden was in there, so I saw his feet walking in, and I was so far under the desk, but then he ended up seeing me. He was like, he looks like he knows exactly where Aiden went, but he didn't see where I went. He's like, hide under there, so he shoves me under there, and then he sees Aiden, and then he was like screaming his name, so he comes in, and he knows exactly where he is, so he comes in, and then he goes to Aiden, and he's like, get the f*** out of here right now before I get your ass, or something like that. So then, he knows that I'm there, he knows that I'm there, but he doesn't know where, so then he just looks, I see his feet right there, and then he just looks under, and he says, get the f*** out, and I was like, so scared. And Aiden couldn't say anything. He's not like one of those people that'd be like, no, you screw off or something like that. He was like, he just didn't say a word. And I was like, bro, that was so intense. Like I was never been so scared before. He was like, yeah, dude, we're not supposed to go in his office. I'm like, then why the did you bring me there and do all that stuff? So then he comes back in the house and he's like, just wait till he finds out what we did. And I'm like, no, wait till he finds out what you did. Like, this was a you thing, Aiden. I mean, I'm not gonna snitch on you, but like, wait till he finds out that it was you that actually did it. Right? So, yeah, that happened, and then Aiden, being Aiden, wants to go to the zip line. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the zip line. And then he's like screaming because he realized what we did in there, or what he did in there. And then, yeah, he ended up realizing, and he was like trying to scream at him. So he was on the zip line, and he kind of like, it was like a one-person thing. Like if you, like I said, it's like literally at a park, like those type of seats. So it's like a one-person seat. So he squeezes me in there. He's like, Aiden, what are you doing? Like, get down from there right now. Like beat you up or something. He wasn't that aggressive, but like he was for sure mad. So then, but like that's the thing, his dad is usually like, he's really nice and stuff, but like this was like a breaking point. It's like, what was so important in there that okay, that was scary. So what was like so important in there that was like not able to be seen, you know, or something like that, or like just his papers or something. Other than, I mean, yeah, it's just like, it's office. I wouldn't want someone in my office screwing around and doing all that stuff. But he got 10 times more mad once he realized what he did. Because, I mean, he screwed up his entire office. So he was just mad for us being in there. Just think about how mad he was when he realized that all of his papers were spray painted. He's like, you better not run. Or no, he didn't think we were gonna run, so he just says like something like, it's hard to remember all of this, but it was one of the scariest moments of my life so far. So like, it was kind of visible or something like that. So then he runs after him and like, get down from here right now. So he starts climbing up the ladder. He's like, you're gonna get down here one way or another, or something like that. He says something like that, yeah. And then he straps me onto the thing, because he was kind of scared of me too. He straps me on to the seatbelt, and he's like, hang on, and he takes off once his dad gets to the very top, and he tries to reach for us, and he nicked him. So then we get back to the house, and we take off back into the woods. It was hilarious. So then he tried to chase us, but then there was this creek, right? This creek was like 8 feet long, and we had to like jump across it. It wasn't 8 feet, it was only like 5 feet, but like us being, what, 9, 10 years old, and being, because me and him are both just like the smallest kids. I mean, I'm in 7th grade and he's in 7th grade, and we're both, he's 5 foot and I'm 5'1", but we're both really strong, so like, that's the thing. But then back then, I grew a ton, and I'm still this small, so think of it back then, 3 years ago, how tall I was. So I was like, this was when I was like 3 inches taller than him. So we had to jump this creek to get away, and we knew that he was not doing that, like his dad. So it was like a 6-foot creek. It felt like a 10-foot creek because I barely made it. And it's 12 feet down, and there's a couple like rocks and stuff. There's rocks. I mean, there was like everything bad in this situation. Like rocks, like a lot of mud, and then a little bit of water, like just enough to make you saturated in water, but not enough to like call it a really much of a river. Makes sense. So we jumped this, and it's like 12 feet down of whatever I just said, and it was hard to jump it. It felt like 12 feet, but it was really just like a 3-foot jump. Not a 3-foot jump. It was like a 5 or 6-foot jump, and it was pretty scary to do it. I was like, dude, why would you leave me? And he takes off with his sister, and I'm like, wait for me, wait for me. He's like, you can do it, I'll grab you if you land it. And I'm like, okay, and he's running after us still. So I just make this jump, right? Like, I was not dying that day, so I just make this jump, like, out of nowhere. Like, I just make this jump out of adrenaline rush. Like, it was so scary. So, yeah, I made the jump, obviously, because I'm a goat, and we kept running. And this creek went on for, like, a while, so it's not like he could just run around it, like, take 3 steps and just run around it. Like, this creek actually went on for a bit. Oh, so we meet again. So yeah, that kind of concludes the story time. It's kind of awkward when he got us. He's really mad. Beat him with a belt a little bit, you know. What the heck? So I might include another story time. I just had to think of some things that's happened. There's a lot of fun things. Okay, yeah, so I was playing Manhunt. This was recently. Like, this was actually the Super Bowl party this year. So this was like less than half a month ago. This was actually, I don't know when the Super Bowl was. It was probably in February. This was actually like a month ago. It felt like way too long ago, but this was like a month or 2 ago. So, but it felt like forever. So I went to the Super Bowl party, and this thing was packed with basically all of the baseball teammates and their older brothers, like everybody. It was another Manhunt story, yay! So we waited till it was dark. We played basketball, football, wiffle ball, everything you can think of. We played it. 2K, Madden, actual like basketball, actual football, actual wiffle ball. Played tennis. We hit balls as far as we could and tried to chase them down in the pond that was like 100 yards away. So yeah, and then we waited till nightfall, like, or you either wait till like the brisk of dawn, like whenever it's about to turn dark, we started playing, and then we waited, and then we just stopped, and then we played it at like 10 o'clock again. So this is when the days were really short. So 10 o'clock was like pitch black again. So we played, and I was on the team with two kids. So there's there was like 3 or 4 older brothers, and older brothers, and 2 or 3 of them is related, but the third one's not really that old. He's 14, and then the other ones are like what, 15 and 16. And yeah, I got placed on a kid named Drew and a kid named Chad's team, so they knew the neighborhood. So, but we played around this one block, but the one block was big, but still. We played around just this one block, and that was it. So we ran. In the first round, we got caught. Like, everybody got caught. I was the last one caught on the team, but everybody got caught so quickly, it wasn't even funny. Like, so quickly. So, because we stayed on the same street as the actual house, but this street was actually really long, but still. We were within like 2 football fields of the house, and we weren't allowed to go in anybody's property. Like, we weren't allowed to go in the backyard of anybody's. So, yeah, we didn't go in any backyards, but we were allowed to stay like near like the sidewalk grass. Like, you're allowed to go in like the person's yard, but like only like 2 feet. Like, staying behind like an electrical box or something like that. Like, you're allowed to be in that general area, but you're not allowed to be like in the backyard. So we kind of broke that rule just a little bit. Me and one of the kids, actually all of us did at the first time, hid behind their car in the driveway, and then we the dog, we were like, please don't bark, because it was looking at us right out the window, and it was like about to bark, like, please don't bark, because we were hiding like kind of deep in this person's yard. Like, they could just come out of the backyard and just shoot us, but nobody in our neighborhood's that crazy. So then they come, right, like the seekers or whatnot, I don't know what they're called. So, and then 2 of the people think that we got found, so they bolt, and the seekers don't see us at first. So then we take off back in the direction of the house, and then they chase us. So, but those older kids that ran from the backyard had already gotten caught. So then, oh my god, you controller player, I hate this meow schools. You suck. So, yeah, they chased us. I mean, those kids got caught because they suck at manhunt. The other kid was so fast. So yeah, we bolt back to the house because like in manhunt, I'm pretty sure you have to. I built there, but I'm pretty sure in manhunt you have to get back to like a base. So their base was their driveway. So we take off for the driveway, and then he's gonna catch one of the 2 of us. So I bolt off in a different direction of the house, and he bolts to the house. So there was one person guarding. I'm like, thank God I didn't go that way. I would have gotten killed. So, or tagged. So then my stupid butt runs around the entire block for no reason. So one of them, they just circle around me, so I cut through this kid's yard, and then I made it, and I was like, started dancing on them. I was like, y'all suck at this, right? So this reminds me of another manhunt video that happened in December, like a Christmas party that I'll be talking about next vid. But this one, I run around the entire block. We were chilling, right? And I made it back, and I was like, y'all suck. So then everybody was like, I want to be on your team, dude. Even though I used everybody as bait to try and win it. Like, I outsmarted the people that were on my team. I didn't mean to, because I'm not trying to give any, I mean, I am to win a game manhunt. Yeah, that happened. I won that round, or our team won that round. They're like, let's go. So then we had to seek, right? So we ran around the entire block, and at this point, we're just walking around the neighborhood because, like, we couldn't find any of them. So then we come back, and only one of them's at the base. I'm like, dude, you guys are terrible at this. Actually, none of them were at the base. No, that was after that. That was the game after. So nobody's at this base, and they're all on one street, and we just caught all of them in a matter of 2 minutes after we walked around the, like, entire block, because that block was the entire base. So that was pretty funny. Like, they could have easily just ran. Oh, that sucks. They could have easily ran, but they didn't. Like, they could have cheesed it so hard, but they didn't think that, they thought that we weren't doing anything. Like, they thought that we were camping the entire thing, camping the entire base. So then we caught, but one of them, yeah, Chad was the fastest one. He's the fastest one there by far, and he just outran everybody because he's like 16 and he's like really skinny, quick, and small. So yeah, that night was pretty fun. I was goated though still. Like I won I made it every round. I got people every round and I made it to the base every round. So then, okay, and then I also walked around the neighborhood once again. Like I walked around the neighborhood again. Like when I was the one supposed to be found too. Like I was supposed to be the one getting found and I was like walking. We all were walking, actually. To be honest, we were all walking, like, as a joke. And then one of them saw us, and we were like, oh, heck no. So we kept looking behind our shoulders to see if they were coming. So then we go back to we were walking around the street, and then you take a left, and then you go, like, 2 houses down, and that's their house. But that's still really far. So, yeah. That kind of concludes that, because they chased us, and then I was the only one at the base again. But yeah, and if I join Hayden and play with this kid for a while, then I might do the other story time. I'm gonna call him up. Actually, you know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna go hit the bed. See you guys later, and I'll make no story time, promise.